Hi, hope everyone. My name is Mr. Fruit, and welcome to the GG Over Easy podcast. In today's episode, we discuss a couple things here and there, nothing crazy. But more importantly, we get to Rob's adventure honeymoon escapades out in Germany and a little bit of Austria. So we're going to hear all about that. You'll get to hear about his adventures, fun, misadventures, anything and everything
I
in
waffled.
between. Bro waffles, but it's the good kind of waffling. And we hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Have you heard of the flavored air category that is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking? It's a whole new movement towards better habits led by our sponsor today's video, Fume. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device. Flavored air isn't like vaping. If vapor was compared to sticky soda, Fume cores are closer to herbal teas. And let me tell you, that orange creamsicle one is the best tasting one. It tastes so good. It makes me actually feel like you're actually, doing your bad habit, but not doing your bad habit, if you know what I mean. Fume is continuously and invest in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products, and Fume is backed by doctors in the USA. My favorite part, no battery, so you never have to charge it. Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you can be their next success story. For a limited time, use our code GG to get a free gift with the Journey Pack. Head to tryfume.com. That's tryfum.com and use code GG. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring this podcast. There's nothing worse than wearing a pair of boxers or a pair of nice underwear and they keep riding up. They're too tight in certain places and they're not specifically made for you in mind. Well, that is a problem of the past for me since I've been wearing Chubbies. And it's not just underwear that Chubby makes, they also make the most comfortable shorts ever. Their original Chubby stretch shorts is what put them on the map. Available in 3 inseam lengths depending on how much thigh you feel like showing off. From their flannels to their warm pullovers to their cozy quarter zips, Chubby has the fall-ready threads for that outdoor football game, pumpkin patch adventure, or late-night weekend bonfire. When others see you sporting Chubbies in the wild, they're bound to say, oh, wow, that person's wearing Chubbies. I know immediately that to respect them and that they're cool. That's exactly how that works. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners 20% off your order with our exclusive code. Use code GG20 at chubbiesshorts.com. Once again, for a limited time, our friends at Chubbies are giving our listeners 20% off with the promo code GG20 at checkout at chubbyshorts.com. That's 20% off your order with the promo code GG20. Support our show and tell them we sent you. This fall, make the most of every moment with Chubbies. Shop now and fall into comfort one stylish piece at a time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast, the Rob Honeymoon story episode, I presume. Good to have you all back as we are officially approaching, if not already declared, hoodie season. Don't know if there's an official date. Or are you like a groundhog where you just kind of go out and then you declare and it's like, oh, no, he's not
Yeah, I
wearing the
mean, I
hoodie yet.
haven't gone out yet where I've felt like a cold breeze. But that more so seems because I don't go outside other rather than it actually being cold. But I'll go outside for a little bit today. I'll go and get fast food for dinner and I won't DoorDash it, so I'll see how the weather's feeling little later today. May
And then report
have
back.
may have to declare it next week, but for now, hoodie season is not in effect. Still a
Mhm.
little too warm.
You heard it here, folks.
As I'm
No.
in a hoodie though, so
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call that a hoodie.
yeah,
Like
it's like a sweater
yeah, I don't know
thing.
what you call those things. Like a hybrid long sleeve with a
I don't
hood.
know. I love this thing though. I love this thing.
They have it. That season is in business. And we're excited to have you all here watching and or listening. Before we hop into it, I do have one thing I want to address before we hop into it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Monka.
I'm putting our boy on blast.
Monka?
That's you,
Me?
Rob. That's right.
What did I do?
And on business. The hypocrisy of your subathon.
Yeah,
We're
I
here to
know.
talk
Oh,
about it.
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Fruit
have.
has beef.
Well, it's
Well,
only
I didn't.
because on this podcast,
Yeah, I have
Rob
talked to.
called
I
out.
know what you're already gonna say. Yes, but me having to play Final Fantasy 14, I feel like is enough of a problem, or like not a problem, but like enough of like a all right. Let me, because let me tell you, Final Fantasy 14 AAR grind is not easy.
Let's fucking
I even did
go.
some off stream yesterday.
Let's
Okay.
fucking go.
So
Wow.
yes, I understand that I took one of the easy way outs with a subathon, and I have stated that that shit is for bitch people. All right, bitch ass made people. Okay, I have said that. So yeah, I'm a bitch ass person right now. All right.
Right.
But you didn't
We
see
said
that
to
sub
address
count when
it.
I got back, baby. All right. It needed it. All right. I had to take advantage of those last 3 sub days. I now I remember like don't take like this is the first year in a while that Twitch has actually done a
Yeah,
decent
a good
like
subathon or a good
September,
September. Yeah, yeah,
probably in the last like 7 years.
yeah.
So I had basically been
For
like, all
bad
right,
things.
September is not a thing anymore. And it was only until like I left where they were basically like, hey, we're actually doing a real September this year. I was like, fuck. So I came back and did what I like to call just streaming with a timer on the screen. But
Yeah.
I lowered all the time or like all like the requirements for a sub. So I'm basically like 30, 40 subs away, I think, from playing MSQ Final Fantasy 14, which for those that
Is a
don't
main
know,
story quest.
wow, Mr. Fruit, look at
Wow.
you.
Wouldn't
Look
you
at
just go
you.
through that though while you're playing? I don't get it.
I
I
trust me,
was
I don't get it either. I literally had like people trying to like make me like a kind of a step by
I'm
step
really
thing.
confused on that too because you are doing MSQ.
Yeah, but like I guess AAR is part of MSQ, and then
Yeah,
Stormblood is part of MSQ, right? And then
is your subathon
I
to
don't
do
know.
the play the entire main story scenario,
Yeah,
like main
basically like
scenario?
so what it is like if I get to my highest sub count ever, which is like not happening, um,
Yeah,
I will do like what the hardest rate, like what a ultimate is or something like that. And like throughout like that, there's like little like checkpoints of said game, you know? So we're at the checkpoint now where it's MSQ. And I gotta say it's about Final Fantasy 14. Okay. I can't judge it yet. All right. We're still at the weird part where it's like every
Uh,
MMO ever, you know, where
100%,
you
hundred
don't have a
percent.
mount. Like it
are you
literally, I
hunting like wildlife, like 5
not
wildlife, and
even.
then
You do that for like maybe 2 missions. Most of the missions are like, "Hey, talk to this person." Okay, you talk to this person. Now, can you tell this person about what I told you and give them a letter? Yeah, I'll do that. So you give
Yeah,
them a letter,
yep.
and so very rarely do you actually like kill things. Sometimes there's like these solo things. I've been skipping every like quest like cutscene, by the way, unless
Damn
there's
it.
some voice acting
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
no,
Then
100%.
I
Yeah, in ARR, that is the play. Just watch the voice acted cutscenes.
Yeah. I hear a voice actor, I go, "Oh, okay, I'll watch this," and then I have no idea what's happening. But, at the and, like, yesterday, I was like, "Alright, I'm gonna wake up early." I was like, "I'm gonna play some Final Fantasy off stream." So I played a little bit of Final Fantasy off stream, you know, just to kinda get that feel. I'm not killing myself with it where it's like, "I'm only playing this for 15 hours." Yep.
speaking of subathons, that VTuber Iron Mouse, I believe is her name, just hit, I think, the highest Twitch sub count ever, beating out
Yep.
Guy's record of, like, I wanna say it's 300,000
It was
something,
like
something crazy.
286,000, something
Like
like that.
200, yeah, I don't know. It was insane either
But
way.
then she hit, like, 300K.
Yeah, and it made me think about it. Um, I think I would be willing to do a subathon if I were a VTuber, because 'cause you're practically cheating. You don't need, like,
Yeah.
how often are they really there? We don't know. You could just, like,
What?
Well
have your thing, like,
well,
animating,
I think that for the
watching a
sleep part.
thing.
'Cause I noticed for her sleep part, it was just her, like, little VTuber like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They might not even be in the room sleeping, or, like, if they AFK, they can just have their thing swaying while, like, they're in a Discord call or something, and you wouldn't know.
See,
That
but
would be ideal for me.
I think being a VTuber is harder than being just a person because then, like, I've said this, like, on record, you gotta, like, "Oh, I'm laughing, let me push the laugh button," or, like, "I'm sad, so let me make sure I press the sad button." Like, that's so hard.
That's the
Like
funniest thing. When they're showing emotions, like, they might, like, actually be, like, laughing, and then they're like, "Oh, wait, my VTuber's not ha 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 ha,"
yeah,
or they're sad, but then, like,
that's why
their
it's
thing's
hard.
stuck on, like, smiling. Wait, no,
Because like,
I'm
I
getting
remember
mixed
I
signals.
used to be like, "Man, VTubing's probably so easy, like, you don't even, like, get to be seen on camera." But then I, like, think about it, and you go like, "Wow, it's actually, like, way harder."
I wouldn't say harder, just different.
It's
Oh,
different. Hey, each thing has its own differences. I would definitely say VTubing from a purely human perspective of having a barrier between you and chat for protection. Dare I say a condom? Is a little easier on the personal
Really,
mental
the streaming world's condom, yeah.
because you don't have to worry about people judging your appearance. And then yeah, like if you're sleeping, it's like, dude, my mom, you don't know how I look anyways. You guys don't need to see me sleeping. I just be putting my VTuber model up to sleep. So pros and cons, pros and cons.
Well, the one thing VTubers have over, us flesh tubers is, like, oh, no, it was like viewing numbers are down. I saw this meme where it's like, any VTuber when they're starting to become irrelevant, and it's just like a picture of like enlarged breasts, new model, bigger
Yep,
boobs, and
yep.
it's just like we can go further. Um, yeah, no, so crazy stuff happened over there in the streaming world. Good for her. I know she donated like half of it to charity, which is cool. Um, but
Does Ruben play with this
otherwise,
one? I know he plays with some big VTuber. I don't know if it's this one.
he plays with like all of them or something. I don't know. It was wild when he was here your wedding before. Um, we picked him up from the airport. First, he's like, "I want canes." So we went and got canes. It's like all he's been talking about. He's like, "That's the thing I miss most since last Fruit Summit is canes." So we went and got canes. But then he talked about all the collabs and stuff he does. It's just wild, bro. I'm like, if I had a tenth of your outgoing social personality, bro.
Yeah,
It's like Rob how talks like, bro. Like Rob's like, if I was 6 foot, I ruled the world, bro. If I had
yeah.
just a little bit of Ruben's uh social,
Extroverted.
yeah, extroverted social capabilities, bro, I'd rule the world.
I just want to say,
Um,
I
it's
just want to say,
crazy.
I have beef with Ruben's social personality because last
Oh,
Fruit
okay.
Summit, this dude, I remember a night specifically where his social personality was like, it was not done. His battery was not drained, and people were going to bed. So he just started talking at me about Overwatch and about how much Overwatch sucked. And
Not to you, just at
and
you.
and dead ass, I'm not lying when I tell you I was literally in bed. I was I mean, my bed was the couch, which is like very nice couch. They're very comfortable couches. So I was like I was in my couch bed. Like it was bedtime. And Ruben was dead ass just like, yeah, well, like we had a conversation. I was like, all right, I'm going to bed, Ruben. And then he was like, I didn't hear that part. So anyways, guys, Overwatch is really bad. Like blue. Like you don't
Like that
understand.
meme of talking to the brick wall, except you're the brick
Yes.
wall. You
He's
just
like,
looking around.
you don't understand blue. Yeah, blue. You don't understand how bad
What?
Overwatch is. And I'm like,
There's a
I'm sitting here just Ruben, bro. I am going to bed. Go talk at someone else. I beg you. Anyways, I love Ruben. He's great.
we'll we'll have to get Ruben on at some point to explain this story, but you know how in Vegas he did the one roulette bet?
Mhm.
Well, at my wedding he did the same thing. Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he for those that don't know, Ruben has broken the meta of casinos and the casinos don't know how to react. Basically what he
Casinos hate
does,
this man because of his one trick.
yeah, so he takes $100 and then puts it on red or black. And if the bet wins, he leaves, and if the bet loses, he leaves. It's pretty incredible. So in Vegas, he
Wow.
won $100 off the $100 bet. And then I don't know if he bet 200 to make it
Bet
400 or
200.
wow, okay, so he bet 200 to make it 400.
He's feeling good.
So
Took
he
his
took
earnings from Vegas and was like, "Let's
yep.
double it."
Yeah, so he mangoed down and took his 200 and made it like he got it right. He hit his color without a little controversy, though. Apparently, there was a little bit of a controversy as he did this. Yeah, he
How's
didn't tell
that
you
work?
this.
No.
Okay, so apparently he asked for the dealer like for $200 worth of chips, right? And Ruben doesn't like take in. So first of all, he's like telling me about this. He goes, He's like, Rob, I'm about to do the bet, and I go, are you? And he goes, yeah, 200. And I go, that's crazy. And I go, okay. I go, "Who was with you last time you made the bet and won?" And he goes, "Joey and Charlotte." And who's behind me? Joey and Charlotte. So I'm like, "Okay, I wasn't there when you won. If
So I
I'm
need to
here,"
leave.
I was like, "I need to leave. That way, like, it's all the same variables and all that." Okay. And then I was like, "I'll come back and like see if you won." So I go and like do my thing. I think Dado was at that point, I think Dado was playing like bubble craps and you were over there too. And I find like Ruben later in the night and he won. Wow, Ruben, you're 2 for 2. Let's go. Congratulations. And then he goes, "Yeah, but the guy at the table got really pissed at me." And I go, "Why?" And he goes, "Apparently, when I made the bet, he was on black, and like everybody at the table was apparently like betting either like black if he was betting red or red versus black. I don't know. But basically, everybody was on black, and Ruben last second put his $200 on red. So the table gets black or red, and the table goes, "Ah," and Ruben's over there. Boom! Like super excited. And I guess the guy was pissed.
I don't get that. That's so bizarre. Like,
Oh, I get it.
wow, Ruben, you cost all of us our money. No,
Yeah.
it's just you voted the other way,
Nope,
man,
it's
for
not
his
my
money.
bad decision making or the fact that I'm here and know that I'm probably gonna lose this money. It's the fact that that
It's his
kid,
fault. Yeah.
yeah, came up and
"Hey, give us our
messed
money,
up the
kid."
vibes of the table. Vibes of the table is a very important thing. But Ruben is now 2 for 2, and I can't wait to see what his $400 bet looks like if he's got the balls to do it.
Called out. Bald. Yeah, no, it's why I just don't bet, you know?
Yeah.
Same.
You I don't need people blaming me for their bad mistakes. Um, speaking of, the wedding, though, we heard about that last week,
Yeah.
and I know the kids have been yearning for
I
the,
gotta
overseas stories.
I gotta say, I did go back a little bit and listen to your story about the wedding to because Sydney was like listening to it. She's like, "I want to see how like Christian thought about it." Sydney goes like, "Wow, Christian hates some of your friends." That's what she came away with it.
No, just
uh,
just some of the high school ones.
yeah. So, Sydney and I, for our honeymoon, went to Munich, Germany. How that
Yeah.
all, yeah. So how that originally worked out is, we had who's now a friend, but originally started off as a fan. His name is Feels. He's in the chat now. Basically reached out and was like, "Hey, like I live in Munich, Germany, and I really like planning trips and all that kind of stuff. I love your content. I love everything about you. You're an amazing human being, and you look very beautiful." He didn't say any of that. That's me, just kind of.
Wow,
Yeah.
very straightforward.
So he set up this whole trip in Munich, Germany for 2 weeks. We originally were gonna go for 1 week, but then basically it was like, "You're gonna wanna come for 2." So we went for 2, and it was basically like the best trip ever, almost like honestly, like way more fun than like Copenhagen because like with Copenhagen, I was there for like esports and I was there with a bunch of video game gremlins that didn't want to leave the hotel and just, go to the go and watch Counter Strike. So with this, it was much more like, ooh, visit this place, ooh, visit that place. Um, I did forget to talk about this. On the flight there, I like to watch anime on a plane. Because with anime on a plane, you have to focus. You got to be like. My problem with anime is like I'll be watching 2 episodes of anime, and then I'm in my third one. I'm like, man, this episode long as hell. So like, before I know it, I just have like Japanese on in the background, and then like I'm just like listening to that as if like I know what's happening. So on my planes,
Stable.
like my flights, like that's where I like to get my anime in. So I caught up on My Hero, and I was like, all right, I'm done with My Hero. There's still 5 hours left of the flight. So I'm like, well, what am I gonna watch next? Oh, The Boy and the Heron
Oh
is
shit.
on the thing. Let me watch this. Like, okay, I've heard like this is like the greatest Ghibli movie ever, and it's like the best movie ever. Okay, I'll watch it. And I'm not gonna watch it dub because I don't know. I like again, I want to watch it in sub, you know how it was
Even
originally
though
made.
The dub
Yeah,
cast is incredible.
yeah, I heard Robert Pattinson. I did like when the Heron did come up, I did switch it to dub for a second to kind of hear like what he sounded like, and I went, "That sounds nothing like Robert Pattinson." I would have no idea that that's him. Um, Anyways, though, that movie is ass. Like, I'll just come out and say it. That movie is ass, dude. I don't get it. Like, Studio Ghibli fans, I think, are like Rob Zombie fans. Like Rob Zombie
Jeez.
movie fans are like Rob Zombie makes the best fucking movies ever. And it's like, yeah, Rob Zombie makes Rob Zombie movies. Like, that's how I feel about like Studio Ghibli. Like, they're like Studio Ghibli, like the guy, whatever his name is. Like, I've seen the memes of him, and he's just like,
Miyazaki or
where he's like talking to his cat, and he's like, "You live the best life ever." Like, I love that. Like, I want to be a cat or something like that. Or like one where he's like really tired after a long day of like drawing and shit because he's like, man, computer animation is so shit or something. Um, yeah, your movies aren't that great, man. All right, I've seen Spirited Away. I thought before I saw The Boy and the Heron that was the most overrated anime movie. The Boy and the Heron has got to be one of the most overrated movies ever. Like that movie was so boring. Like I literally was like, there was like 10 minutes left. I was like, is this movie like what? I still don't get it. Like every Studio Ghibli movie is the same. It's like, hey, let's have like a really niche bird or animal type thing and make it big and make it have a job. And they're like, he's done it again. He's done it again. Like, oh my god. Like,
So let me get this straight. Is
yeah.
there a Studio Ghibli movie you like?
I thought the neighbor one was all right when I saw that a long time ago. Totoro or something like that. I thought that was okay, but like I didn't like think it was like the greatest thing since sliced bread, like your name is. Like so,
I
and
mean,
that might be the
So
issue
you
too. I
can
keep
so you can understand the symbolism behind your name, but the details of Ghibli films are lost on you.
yeah, I think so. I think like I'm the problem here.
I feel like it might be user error, but at the same time, art is subjective. So
I
well, I
mean,
you
will
know,
say it was funny. Rob asked me about this the other day. He's like, "Oh, I saw a Boy and the Heron movie on the theater." I was like, "Really?" I saw it last night, and literally like 3 days ago, whatever. Uh, Claire and I just randomly watched it that night. We hadn't seen it yet. So it was weird timing. But I'm in the it's mid camp. I'm not quite as on the other side
the
as
hate train.
yeah, but both Claire and I were like,
Oh, so
that
Claire was
was
pretty about it too.
yeah, we were both whelmed. We're like, oh, I mean, we like the studio's movies pretty much like all the other ones, but that one, yeah, also even that one was lost on me. I don't know, something about it's just like that just didn't hit for me.
I
Felt
feel like
weird.
I had
The
just
voice
seen it
acting was great
before.
though.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like he's made this movie before, and it's just like different aspects of all of his other movies, just kind of in one movie. It's just I don't know.
I mean, I will say, as always, the animation was incredible. Um, and I didn't know the voice cast going in. We watched dub. So I could pinpoint, like, almost every actor. It's like, "Oh, wow, they got this person and this person and this person." At the end, I looked it up, and then I'm like, "Wait, what? Robert Pattinson had a role. He was the Heron?" Literally. I mean, props to that guy. Insane. Yeah, like, I could have had 100 guesses, and I don't think I would have had Robert Pattinson in there. Um, but yeah, I agree that, yeah, that one was lost on me, but I like almost every other film they've done. But something about that one, yeah, just didn't quite hit the same, but I heard, uh, he came out of retirement for this one. I think it's his last one, and it's supposed to be, uh, an interpretation on the story of him growing up as a child, uh, during the war era and whatnot. Um,
Interesting.
but yeah. I wonder if I'm sort of in the same boat too, had I not seen their other films, if that was my first, if I had felt differently. But it did just sort of feel like an amalgamation of things I'd already seen in just a way I don't know, like, I don't have a good reason, it just didn't really, like, hold my attention.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah. I mean, I don't think it was terrible, but no, like, I I also don't quite get. I'm not in the apparently the, majority opinion because it has, like, 90s or something
Yeah,
close
it's
to
like I
perfection.
mean, people who love it are like, this is my personality now. So,
When I
watch
watch
that on the
Honeymoon.
flight there. Pretty ass. Um, and then I don't remember what else we watched there, but we land in Munich. Um, and at this point, my voice from the wedding is like, I basically like kind of sound like this, like so. And I'm still under the interpretation, like, okay, like it's because I've been talking a lot with the wedding and stuff, so like I'm gonna rest up, and take a nap, and like maybe feel better after like the nap and stuff. We actually go to this awesome restaurant in okay. Hoffenpine Benberg? Hoffenpine
Nailed
Benberg?
it. Oh,
Feels is
that
in the
place.
yeah, Feels is in the chat, so I'm sure he can tell me if I said that correctly. But basically, it's like okay, the thing about Munich that is really cool is first of all, no streetlights. Like there's like no streetlights basically anywhere. I only saw really like one streetlight my whole time there, and it was like in the same spot. Every other place, like but like the roads are like this wide, and that's not a joke either. Like they drive on roads that are like this wide. And it's crazy. It's like you'll be in a Porsche on one side and then there's like a fucking tractor coming this way. Like it's like Jesus Christ, that is so insane. So, we go to like this restaurant that's like on top of this hill and it's like your cliche like German kind of restaurant. Um and we and this place doesn't seem very like touristy, so it's like not very like English. So feels
That's crazy.
uh
You mean it's German?
thankfully who speaks German orders for us and gets all this stuff. And outside the restaurant, dude, I don't there's like a hive of bees in like a glass of Coke. And so everyone who would normally eat outside with the views and stuff, it's like you still can. And some people still are, dude. Like, I'm not joking you. So, like, this right here, imagine this full of Coke, and no joke, I'm not joking you, like 40 to 50 bees around in here and just flying around it. And Germans, man, they just like go fucking cutting and like eating the thing. And like, and these aren't just like honeybees, these are like wasps. There's like wasps flying by them, and they're just like, God. And like, I'm over here like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, get the fuck. And it's like one like in the restaurant that's kind of by me. Um, and then it was funny too. So like the lady brings out the food and feels just looks at my food and goes like, I didn't order you that. I goes, I don't know what that is. I go, all right, well, I don't know what it is. But it was like this, I don't know, it was like meat, but then it had like a thing you like put like grease on it or something like that. And that was really good. I
You mean
think it was
like
like
gravy?
beef shoulder. It wasn't like a gravy. It was like almost like a French dip kind of dip, which me and French dips don't get along. But
Oh, I know.
this was like making the meat wet. Pause.
That's
Um,
nice. Well, what are you doing? You like, who wants soggy meat? Like, what.
that's what I mean. But like,
All right,
I didn't want to be
ladies.
rude. I'm in Germany. I didn't want to be like, hey, this is not what we ordered. We ordered because I didn't know what we ordered. Like
That's the fun
I
part.
only knew it was not what we ordered because Fields was like, that is not squash or tie part. And it's like, all right, like, I mean, it's good. Like, I'll eat it. He goes, I swear that's not what I ordered you. Um, so the first dinner there, very good, cool views. Like this restaurant is like on top of a hill. You can literally see like all of Bavaria, Germany, like the Alps. It looks so cool. I'll have to like edit in these photos and like just have them as I'm kind of talking about it pop up. So after that, we take like our nap to kind of because I think because
For
we took off
European.
at yeah, we took off at like 5 o'clock Denver time, and we landed in Munich like 10 a.m. So we have like a whole day we kind of had to like stay up and to try and get on the thing. We take a nap, bro. I wake up and I'm like, I'm sick. I got like the dry thing on the roof of my
Wait.
mouth. I'm like dying. Uh, so I'm like, holy shit, lock in. Like, cause like you got your honeymoon and there's nothing worse than being sick on your honeymoon. So I was like, all right, lock in. Let's try not to get everybody else sick. Like, let's lock in. Um, so trying to think what we did that day. Basically, got back on my Top Gear shit. Michael, who is a fan of Top Gear as well. And I was a big fan of Top Gear until like the three left and then started like the Grand Tour or whatever. But then he told me that the Grand Tour now is sick. Because I hadn't like watched it for like 5 years. So we just ended up like watching some of that and binging some of that. And then the next day or around the next like day or so, we go to Salzburg, Austria. Now you may be being like, "Whoa, Rob, like you were just in Germany." Get this, okay? Austria's border, like right there. Yeah, so you can go into like other countries, you know? Yeah. So like kind of like how Colorado, we get to go to New Mexico and Kansas. Yeah, right.
No.
You get if you're in Germany, you get to go into Austria, which is crazy.
No
Yeah,
chance.
and guess what? Totally different culture, like totally different way the city look. Yeah, they don't all look the
Wow.
same like here. Uh-huh. Yeah. You know how like you go into Kansas, you're like, wow, this looks exactly like Eastern Colorado. Yeah, totally not the same. Uh little fun history for you guys. What famous composer is from Salzburg?
Salisbury steak.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Blue,
got
what's your
there
guess?
before I had. Um. Okay, wait, hold up. What was the place again? What famous composer is from
Salzburg,
Austria?
Austria. What
Salzburg,
famous
Austria.
composer is from
I'm
Salzburg?
gonna go
Hans Zimmer.
Okay.
Mozart.
Mr. Fruit. Bing, bing, bing. You
Ah,
actually got it
Nice
with
say.
Salisbury Steak. Salisbury
Oh,
Steak,
okay.
the composer,
Yes.
is from
I knew
Salzburg.
it. He's my
wow.
Hence,
favorite.
why Salzburg
Nice
steaks
job.
are a thing. No, but that is where Mozart is from. And not only is it where
Damn.
Mozart's from, it is just a beautiful old city and is one of Fields' favorite places to go. So he took us there. And okay. Uh I've never been the guy that's like, "Oh my god, like the views here like are so pretty," or like, "Oh my god, like this is breathtaking." Um I don't know why I've just, a picture, just give me a picture and like it does that for me. Um man, Salzburg, Austria is one of the coolest places in the whole world. I literally felt like I literally stepped in like a time machine and I was back in like the Renaissance era around these like buildings and stuff like that. Like it was so cool. And it was like kind of raining. So it was like, ooh, like kind of moody.
Yeah.
Um, which is really cool. And
Like that.
like, I don't know if it was because it was raining, but it didn't feel like super touristy. Like it felt like, just like a normal kind of city and stuff.
A little
And
cozy.
we what is this? What'd you say?
A
Feel a
little
little
cozy.
cozy.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, very, very, very cozy. Meanwhile, like I'm still kind of like, but like, I'm fighting through it. He took us through like this cemetery, and bro, there are like graves in there from like the 1200s. Like, fella died in 1212 to 1227. It's got a
Mm.
sick grave in here, and like that was like 800 years ago. And I just found out that they like pay rent on those. Like, if you don't pay, like
So you're getting evicted. Sorry.
yeah, if you they said, like, your yearly rent. So, like, if you don't pay your yearly rent, they take you out of there.
But you still gotta work even after you're dead, bro. Like,
I mean, your
no
family
rest
must,
for the
like
wicked, man.
but, like, it's crazy, like, there's, like, one in there, there's, like he, like, died in, like, the 1500s, but he has, like, a skull and with, like, bat wings on it, and I was like, "Damn, like,
That was
how
Dracula.
metal is that?" He dies and is like, "Hey, I want, like, the bat wings and the skull, like, I want something scary."
In the
But that was, like, the
1500s
first time.
catalog, he was like, "Yeah, pick. I want that."
Yeah.
And you guys like like the American in me, like we're the best, like we're America. Like so like to see a grave that was like 800 years older than like the country I live in and then like almost 1,000 years older than like the city I live in. it was like for the first time, like I felt like truly like a human, like wow, like I'm just a blip in time. This is
Mhm.
crazy. Like there's a church there that was like it has like the number 759. And I was like, what's that? And he's like, oh, that's like when like the foundation for this place was laid. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, you were laying foundation in 759? Like, that's crazy. Like, it's just like for the first
Why?
time, it was like, wow, like I'm
I ain't
small,
shit.
you know. Yeah, it was
That's why I like history.
yeah, it was just like really, really cool. It just felt like I was walking in a place like stuck in like history. You know what I mean? Like for the first, like I only see buildings like that when I go to fucking Epcot or like Disney World. You know what I mean? Like I've never seen buildings like that where it's like, yeah, this is like what like this is yeah, we just built like this. Which is really cool. You know, Cindy and I did the cliche thing. We got our name engraved on a lock and just like and like locked it on there. Which is really cool. We went to like I don't know, I've never seen the movie, but you know, like The Sound of Music.
I know of it.
Uh
I haven't seen it either.
yeah, so like The Sound of Music,
Go the
it
hill
was
they
like
sung on.
filmed there. Well, not the hill, but like at some point they like sing at a school or like some looking palace looking ass thing. And it's that, and it's really cool.
Oh,
Yeah, it was really cool. Um it's weird, like, again, never been the person where it's like, "Wow, like, I went in this building and it was, like, so cool." Like, you know, like, the churches there, you know, like, they had something, like, you know, they had like, religion today, miss me with that shit. Like, if I was, like, born then, bro, I think I would've been all
in
about the
nomine
church.
Patris
Like,
et
they,
Filii.
like just
I
look
would've
up a
been there, man.
behind blue. Like those are what the churches look like with like maps like that and like
Yeah.
that are actually like legit painted on there and it's like
Yeah.
Renaissance looking ass type beat and it's just like damn, like this is like so cool. Like
I'm a drop in the puddle. I'm a
yeah.
drop in the ocean.
Um complaint about Europe, there had to be one.
Yes, let's fucking go. This is what I
We've
wanted.
talked about this. Why is it bubbly? Every water we get is and then there's like 9 different flavors of water in Europe, and you gotta find the one that is like and then they also no ice. No ice with your drinks. Normally,
Yes.
I'm like not an ice guy. Like normally I
But
say
then
no
suddenly you
ice.
don't have a choice, and it's like,
Yeah,
well,
and then when that choice is taken from me, all of a sudden it's like maybe I do want ice. Maybe I do like to have a little like a little, just a little clink 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 at the end there, or like little water down. Have you heard of the flavored air category that is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking? It's a whole new movement towards better habits, led by our sponsor today's video, Fume. Fume is an award-winning flavored air device. Flavored air isn't like vaping. If vapor was compared to sticky soda, Fume cores are closer to herbal teas. And let me tell you, that orange creamsicle one is the best tasting one. It tastes so good. It makes me actually feel like you're actually, doing your bad habit, but not doing your bad habit, if you know what I mean. Fume is continuously and invest in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products, and Fume is backed by doctors in the USA. My favorite part, no battery, so you never have to charge it. Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you can be their next success story. For a limited time, use our code GG to get a free gift with the Journey Pack. Head to tryfume.com. That's tryfum.com and use code GG. Thank you, Fume, for sponsoring this podcast. There's nothing worse than wearing a pair of boxers or a pair of nice underwear, and they keep riding up. They're too tight in certain places, and they're not specifically made for you in mind. Well, that is a problem of the past for me since I've been wearing Chubbies. And it's not just underwear that Chubby makes, they also make the most comfortable shorts ever. Their original Chubby stretch shorts is what put them on the map. Available in 3 inseam lengths, depending on how much thigh you feel like showing off. From their flannels to their warm pullovers to their cozy quarter zips, Chubby has the fall-ready threads for that outdoor football game, pumpkin patch adventure, or late-night weekend bonfire. When others see you sporting Chubbies in the wild, they're bound to say, oh, wow, that person's wearing Chubbies. I know immediately that to respect them and that they're cool. That's exactly how that works. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving our listeners 20% off your order with our exclusive code. Use code GG20 at chubbysshorts.com. Once again, for a limited time, our friends at Chubby's are giving our listeners 20% off with the promo code GG20 at checkout at chubbysshorts.com. That's 20% off your order with the promo code GG20. Support our show and tell them we sent you. This fall, make the most of every moment with Chubby's. Shop now and fall into comfort one stylish piece at a time. I would prefer it to be cold. No, your normal water to like for
Yeah,
every
'cause
occasion.
you can knock back room temp, brother. Cold, it's
I
like, but room temp, bro, it's like this is like quarter of a gallon. Just like, mm-hmm.
I'm an icy boy. I love
Yeah.
ice. I love ice.
See, I bounce between both. Like I said, like if I'm eating dinner with water, I want it to be a cold water. But if I'm like working out, I would prefer room temp. So also in the city of Salzburg, just imagine, okay, Christian, where we grew up in
Dragons.
like Parker.
Okay.
Well, unfortunately, Blue, the king or somebody that like lived in Germany later on, I'll get to this, killed a dragon. It was probably the last dragon ever.
Right,
So
dude.
yeah,
Had to ruin it for us, man.
that's what I
Man,
mean. So like, it was funny, like in that tour, they're like the German guys, like, and this is King Ludwig's picture of he believed that the story of this German knight who killed the dragon was very cool, so he had it drawn. And I was like, whoa, dragons were real then. And it got a pop. Someone in the back like heard that and was like, ha! Like, it got a pop. So
Yeah, you
like,
got
yeah, I was all right.
that
Yeah.
that took you.
Yeah, it got a pop. Um, but anyways, Salzburg, beautiful. And just imagine where we grew up in Parker, okay? And then in the center of the town, just put a big old fucking fortress. Just a big fortress that just is like
I
just a
wish.
fortress. And we toured that, and it was basically like, yeah, the city of Salzburg was able to like to avoid wars because people would see that fortress and go like, oh, we're not fucking with that. So
Can't be asked, mate.
yeah, that was really cool. Um, yeah, Salzburg easily, I think Sydney and I's like favorite part of the trip. Uh, we want to go back. Salzburg was so fucking cool. Um, everything about it was awesome. Um, and then after Salzburg, uh, the last day of Salzburg, Michael and Sydney are they can't stop coughing. They are very sick and just don't feel good. And I'm over here like, oh, all right, like
a new
fucking
day.
woke up today and I finally feel
What are we
like
doing,
I kind
guys?
of breathe. Like, all
Dang,
right, yeah.
nice. Yeah, that's
Unfortunately, they are not feeling that way and are feeling sick. And we go back to their place and we do COVID tests. And wouldn't you know, we all three test positive for COVID. So I think
so
for like the
they
next,
have that fake woke virus over there too?
yeah, exactly. That's
Wow.
what I said. Like, you could grow up. Like,
No.
like I was like, you guys are still living in 2020. Like, damn.
The world's
So
moved on. Come on.
and unfortunately, Fields' partner Katie is a little bit immune or like what's the word?
Auto
Like
autoimmune
something.
disorder.
Yeah, has basically where it's like she can get really sick. So I had to
Compromised immune system.
yeah, I had to displace her from her home because we all got sick. So that was like the worst part is like I somehow brought over COVID and everybody got sick for like 3 days. We literally just sat in the house and we're all sick together and just watched like TV and like hung out, watched Cage-Roll, which was cool. And it was like nice to have like those relaxing days. Actually, believe it or not. And then so Fields was originally going to show us around in Munich, but because he was sick, he was gonna stay back, and Sydney and I were gonna explore Munich basically, and just had like masks on the entire time. Like wherever we went, we had like masks, which like we were totally fine with. Like I'm not like one of those people that has to like wear a mask and it's like, oh my god, this is the biggest inconvenience ever.
Can't
Um,
breathe.
yeah, I will say, during those days, I did have European soda. European soda clears NA soda.
Wow.
And I mean that. They're Dr. Pepper has like a little like of a like more refreshing aftertaste. I preferred the Sprite there. I will say I did not prefer the Fanta. Everybody liked European Fanta or NA Fanta. I prefer the NA Fanta. I like the orange rather than like it being like a pineapple-y kind of. But like that is like the most drastic soda chain difference is like if you look at an NA Fanta and then an EU one, completely different.
Oh man, they're better at League. No, they're better at sodas.
Like I had a Spitzy that was pretty good. Like um, no Taco Bells or anything there. Like if you
Doc
want food,
Moy,
you got to
dang it,
like go
man.
to a real place. Other than like they got McDonald's and Burger King and Five Guys, which was kind of interesting. I did not expect to see. Yeah, I did not
Was it
expect to see.
also as extremely expensive as here?
Well, at one point, so Cindy and I go to Munich. We stay at this beautiful hotel. Um, it's funny. This hotel is gorgeous. Okay, beautiful, and it's like wow, this hotel has everything. And then, but like the TV in there is like the size of this.
You
like
still got you still got a
yeah, it's like
VCR or no,
yeah, and,
whatever,
like, don't get me wrong,
CRT.
like, I get it. A TV is not the reason you like, Munich is, like, 2 steps that way, like, go outside your room and go but, like, it's nice to have, like, a little smart TV, and, like, every room at that point did have a smart TV, so it was like, "Oh, I can, like, watch the Pat
Ooh,
McAfee show,
no
I can be kinda
smart
normal."
TV? Ugh.
Oh, also, when I did have COVID, it meant on Sunday, uh, we couldn't do anything, so I got to watch Red Zone all day. It was or all night. I got the Octo
Oh,
box at 7 o'clock PM, bro. I get
wow.
why some
You had the
Germans
witching
fuck with
hour at the witching hour,
that
that's
was it,
crazy.
dude. That was I'm not telling you. Every time the witching hour comes on, I call Sydney. I go, "Are you all right?" She goes, "What?" And I go, "The witching hour just started, where losses become wins and wins become losses." She goes, "I hate you." So, yeah, I did to see the witching hour at like a pretty scary time, which was really cool. Got to watch the Patriots suck 5,000 miles away, which was even cooler. Um,
Still not as down bad
so
as us, though, so
so City and I go to Munich. Um, and the first thing we do there is we go to a Bayern Munich game, a Champions League Bayern Munich game. Now, for those that don't know, the Champions League is like where all the best teams from all the leagues around Europe come together in one league and play each other for like a super trophy. So, like,
remind themselves why they shouldn't do another world war.
there you go. So let's have this world war in football.
Exactly.
Um, and man, it just made me realize, like, I mean, I already knew it, but like how just like what's the word I'm looking for? Like the average sports fan cannot afford to go to a game in like here in America because they just get like priced out. So the people that go to those games are like stuck up, like rich people that are there to like more so there because like it's a status that I'm at this game and sitting this close to the seats. When in reality, it should be like, no, you should be like, supporting the team and all that kind of stuff. Like when I went to the Nuggets playoff game, they give us free T-shirts, and the woman in front of us is like, "Do any of you guys have like a medium?" And we're like, "No, lady, like they're all larges. Like they're not just gonna like know what." And she's like, "Oh," and then she like doesn't take off her Birkenstock jacket or whatever, and like just sits there in front of us. And we're the weird ones when we go like defense, like they're like, "What the fuck?" Like, shut up. So it made me really like realize that like the normal sports fan here in America, other than like college football, I think is the only kind of place you see this kind of like atmosphere and stuff. It's just so different to what like football is in
Well,
Europe, man. Like it is so cool. It is so awesome to see how those people come out for those games and sell out and just like genuinely like support like the squad. Like it's fucking cool. And to see like see it firsthand, to like finally be in a building that says the champions. I've been watching this league since I was like 10. It's been like a dream of mine to like hear that at an actual game. Like My dad always goes to like the Barcelona games in LA or like the Real Madrid games in LA, but like those games are like exhibition games for people in America and it's not like the actual games. So like I've always said no to those. So to finally have that experience of like a genuine like
Proper
Champions League
footy
football
match.
match,
Go to the footy,
yeah,
bro.
a proper football match that I got to watch, and it was a 9-2 battering. It was sick, dude. They scored 9 goals. Like they scored more points than the Broncos. Like that's what I got to put in our group chat. I was like,
Wait,
I just
and
watched a soccer game
the team you were
when
rooting for, Fire, whatever?
yeah, they scored 9.
Okay. I was gonna say, I
Uh,
hope they weren't the 2. That would
no, that would have been I don't know, that would have been cool to see too. That would have been crazy. But like just like they put like okay, so like like every weekend after of like all the NFL games, you always see like one like NFL fight. You'll always see it coming up on your timeline, fans fighting. They literally purposefully like stick all the other away fans like in a section at the top so you can't like fight and stuff. Like and then they like dismiss those people like out of a different section. And then well they let like the whole stadium leave and then they like wait for them and then they have like police escorts take them out. So there's like no fighting and stuff.
Can't have
Um
shit.
so So being at that game and like being in that atmosphere, dude, was like literally a dream come true. It was so cool. It was, I mean, cool was like under it, like it is just amazing. So after that, we're in the city of Munich. That's where we run into the Five Guys because Sydney and I are looking for lunch, and Sydney's like, let's just get Five Guys, and I was like, no, I was like, we can get Five Guys anywhere. It's like we got to find some like hole in the wall place. So Michael tells us about this ramen place. Fire. It was so good. Um, and at this point, we're going to like a palace and we're going to a different place. We're like bouncing around Munich, but I'm using taxis. Uh I don't know if you guys can see this. And like for people that, are accustomed, uh look at that shit.
Nice.
was that the tram system? Like
Yeah, so
the
that's their tube. That's like where their trains go and stuff, or like their metro.
Mhm.
Okay, I look at that and I get immediately tilted and I get immediately angry. Like
It's
I
even
see
color
that.
coded for you.
Okay, but like, you don't get it. Okay, so like we have a great time in Munich. Munich's a beautiful city. Loved it. It was awesome. The food there, great. Uh, so leaving Munich once again, feels uh is sick at this point. So he was originally gonna like show us around and like take us to this spot, take us to this spot. But now like, I'm on my own. The dumb American is here in Munich by himself with Sydney. So Sydney and I really want to go to Dachau, which is a city in Germany, which is home to one of the first concentration camps. And it was really important. And Sydney and I really wanted to see that. And so Michael goes like, "Oh, like you can take like the train to Munich Platz and then Platz to the, just some stops." Okay. And you get into like the tram, bro. And I'm not kidding you, bro. It's like Harry Potter. Like there's like a level, there's like
Ba-da-da.
stairs moving around, like to different like spots. Like I'm telling you, this place is mad confusing. And once again, everything is in German. There is like a little bit of English. And so like I'm sitting there like buying the tickets. And I'm literally going like there's we have like our bags and stuff too. Cause like we're looking for like a place where you can put your bags for the day. And then like you get your bags at the end of the day. So I'm literally going like, this is so fucked. Like this is fucked. Like I hate this. Like this is the worst. And you know what the worst part about it is? It's not that like Rob hates public transport. Sure, that might be true to a certain extent. But in Europe, it's really nice and it's clean and it's, well maintained, unlike here in America. So I am very out of practice when it comes to like bus routes and train routes and all that kind of stuff. So what really frustrates me is everyone else around me is whoop, zoop, whoop, oh, zoop, bap, boop, 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 Dankeschön. And then like, like going about their fucking day. Everyone else can do it but me. So we buy these tickets and we're going like up and down, like, and I literally look at Sydney. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. She goes, no, like we can do this. Like, come on. Like, I went, no. I went, I'm not doing this. And she goes, Robert, we already bought the ticket. Like, please, like, let's just. I went, no, I'm not doing this. So I was like, follow me. So what do? We take a taxi all the way to this city in Dachau because I just refuse like to learn. And guess what? The convenience of what I got out of the taxi was way easier than, the cost. What is it, Mr. Fruit? The cost versus,
Cost benefit
yeah.
analysis, like
Michael
opportunity
says
cost.
Sydney's text to me. Rob is tilted during this whole exchange. Oh, and then like that's the other thing. Sydney's like, let's call Michael and like figure it out. Like he'll tell us. And I'm like, yeah, honey, he'll tell us. But like the man in me, like the man law that says like don't ask for directions or like bother people about like being lost. Like we could figure it out.
Some toxic masculinity right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we do is I go, take us to like the Dachau like concentration camp. So like the guy's like taking us there, and I go, okay, I don't know where we're putting our bags before we go in here. What am I gonna do? So I went, okay, I'll find a hotel that's near. And I'll just say, tell the dude last second, hey, stop there. That's our hotel. Uh, so
Things.
so we're about like a half a mile out, and I see Sweets Hotel Sleeps, and I go, hey, can you stop here? That's our hotel. So he drops us off there. Like it was like a $60, 60 euro like taxi ride. So it was a lot. Um, and
I don't feel bad for you at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was way better than having to figure out the fucking metro and leaving our fucking bags in a fucking place and then going in a train and then finding the train back to that stop and then getting our stuff and then getting on back on the train to go to this. Like, no, that sounds awful. Like, I'll just pay for a fucking taxi. Um, so we get to the hotel and we have our bags and stuff. And it's not the nicest of hotels. And I go, hey man, like we're gonna go have a tour at the Dachau. Is it okay if like we leave our bags here at the front desk and we'll come back after our tour? And he goes, oh, like yes, yes, yes. And like I put our stuff in like the like behind like the front desk, and he goes, oh no, no, no. And so like he like is like taking our bags and kind of puts it like where the kitchen is, in between like the kitchen and like the bathrooms, and just like leaves it there. And he goes, we'll leave here. And I go, okay, like, do you need our names or anything? He goes, no. I go, all right, like, all right, yeah, sure, like, fuck it, like, whatever, like, what are they gonna take our shit? So we leave and we start walking. Sydney's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Robert, like, that is freaking me out. Like I can't, like, just in good conscience, like, leave. Like, they didn't even ask our name. Like, they don't. What if that guy's working the front desk? He's not there anymore. And I was like, all right, fine. So like, I bought a room for that night to just store our bags. Thank God it was a pretty cheap hotel. So it was like 70 more euro to get somewhere to store our bags. So I ended up spending probably like 110 more euros because I refused to learn public transport, which, is fine because that 110 euros, I wasn't tilted. Um, and then so we did the Dachau concentration camp, which is one of like the saddest places on earth. I got to be honest with you. It was really cool to like, cause like I'm a big World War II head. My dad growing up always had like some sort of History Channel stuff on, and a lot of that stuff was like World War II. So like learning about all that kind of stuff and being there was like really really cool, and like I think one of the most important things for us to do while we're there. Is, I mean the things that happen there are really really sad. And I think it showed me how much I hate some tourists. Like we're at like Dachau where a lot of people passed away and were murdered. I shouldn't even say passed away. People were murdered. And there's people like in front of so like there's like a gate, and in the gate, like it says like work sets you free in German, because concentration camps were originally, or like this one specifically was shown as like a work camp where they would basically take like, you know, minorities and, Jewish people or people that were like against like their party and basically like rehabilitate them through work and stuff like that. When in reality, they were just like killing them and working them to death. Um, and while we're there, people are like taking selfies in front of like the signs and stuff like that. Just like just a really like, yeah, I'm with you, Blue. Like, it's just a really weird, like
Yeah.
triggering like thing to like see. Like, it was just super weird that like people there like are taking like pictures in like this courtyard where like people were like being like beaten, hurt, and like it was just really weird. Like it felt like for the first time in like a long time where like I just felt like humanity has like lost touch with humanity in certain ways that like we can't just like be in this area and like learn and like, uh appreciate's not the right word, but like understand like why we're here and why we came to this place rather than it like being like went to Dachau today, pretty crazy. Like when in like reality, it's like you should be like, like there are kids on field trips there, like running around and like laughing and stuff. And like, you know, there is like a certain kind of beauty in that ignorance where it's like, they don't really know where like I don't know. It was a really like got like pulled both ways type of thing. So that was really cool. Not the whole like public transit part, but like, that part was really tilting. Uh so uh Michael picks us up from Dachau. He sees our hotel and he goes, I've lived here before. He goes, I have no idea where the fuck we are. Like this is like so uh, it was yeah. And then he sets us up in a place. I'm gonna fucking butcher this. But basically, like where like these two castles are. I forget like what the place is called. Um, but it is probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. The Neuschwanstein. Neuschwanstein. Nailed it.
Nail it.
And I mean I can kind of like I'll put pictures like while I'm talking, but like that was like the hotel we were staying at. And again, not a big guy like wow, this view is just breathtaking. Like I'm just so uh they have like a castle there, okay? And it's like a real castle. Like a dude like built this castle. Uh
I hate all the
and
fake castles, man. They make me sick.
yeah, I mean, I've only ever seen fake castles, So like, even like the fake castles, you're like, "Oh wow, that looks really sick." Man, when it's a real one, um Sydney and I were there for 3 days. Any angle I looked at it was basically like it was like the my first time seeing it again. And like nothing has really ever been like that for me. Again, but like Salzburg was kind of like that, but like this was like a specific kind of like landmark where it was like every time I looked at it, it was like the first time I'm looking at it again. I just like couldn't believe like this is where like people like lived and stuff. It was really, really cool. Like the views were unbelievable. Um, we had an like a really cool room. The food was super good. I even had a glass of wine at dinner. I know, not a big like,
Oh,
yeah,
fun.
Also, a lot of people may be asking when we went to Munich, did we do any Oktoberfest stuff? No. Thank God I had zero interest in any Oktoberfest stuff, like zero. Like I don't know a big group with everybody getting hammered drunk around me, drinking a bunch of beer. Like I honestly can't think of like a worse sounding thing. Like so, thankfully, like they didn't enjoy that either. So we were just like, oh, we just won't do that. So we did these like tours of these castles instead. And like this city, dude, it was so cool. The dude in the tour, giving us like the rundown. By the way, justice for King Ludwig. That dog was murdered by the banks. That was crazy. They say
Somebody had to say it.
hey, they say, hey, I'm taking a stand right now. All right. King Ludwig was murdered by the banks of Germany because he liked to build castles. All right. They said he was mad. They said he was crazy. How can someone mad and crazy build castles like that? I think you were just broke, and they were like, "Hey, we need this guy's spending way too much money. We got to kill his ass," and they killed him. Um.
I buy it.
Uh. So the views of the castle were really cool. The castle in the castle was really awesome. Okay. So I told Christian about this. But I didn't see many Americans until I did a tour of like the really cool Disney castle. And basically, this castle is like the really like pretty one and like the one that like ever it's like known for. So we got a tour time and they do like tours in like Japanese, German, Russian, and I got the English tour, of course. So with it being the English tour, there's a lot of Americans. And I see a red hat and immediately go, "Oh, first see my first Make America Great hat again." And of course, dude, it's like this 85-year-old boomer, bro. Like, dude can barely like walk, let alone like think. Hence the hat. So I go, "Hey, Sydney, like, look, like a hat, like we're America, like American." And then I
You
look
can
at the
see the
hat,
homeland.
and then I see the hat though, and the text is a little different. That doesn't say "Make America Great." Like that's an R at the start. Like that's weird. And then the hat says, "Relax, it's just a red hat." And I go, "Oh, he's trolling." I was like, he's a dudes for Kamala guy." And like, "Oh yeah, okay." Like he's trolling. Like an 85-year-old guy trolling in Germany. Like that's hilarious. But then he turns around and there's a button on the hat, like a button. Like who wears buttons other than 85-year-old boomers? And the button says America first. So now I'm like, before the tour, we're at this castle. I'm literally having this like Deku conundrum moment. Like, oh my God, like he's wearing like a button hat, and then it doesn't make any sense. But like, how did like, am I getting trolled by this 85-year-old guy? I'm gonna go walk up to him. Sydney goes, "Don't walk up to him." And like, honestly, Robert, we're about to tour castle. Like, this isn't that big. And I was like, I just have to know, or else I'm gonna be wondering the whole trip, did I get trolled by this 85-year-old man? Um, and I didn't end up going and talking to him at all.
So now you don't know.
Uh,
Did you get trolled by an 85-year-old
Exactly.
man?
Like it was America because I wanted to walk up and go, "Hey, America first," and see like just see like the kind of response I'd get. But like, why is he wearing a relax? It's just a red hat thing if he really does support Trump. That's what I didn't get. So I was getting trolled by somebody who doesn't even know what trolling is. That's what I took away from the castle. Like when people are like, "Oh, like
Okay, yeah.
what'd you think of the castles?" That's the first thing I think of is like the dude in the red hat that trolled me. Um, oh, and then so one of the days, we were like touring. There's like, you're like on the steps of like the Swiss Alps, basically. So we go through, well, Fields tells us about like this place that basically it's like a gondola that like takes you up to like the top of the mountains. So you get like a view of the mountains from a different kind of spot. You guys know me in heights. I'm not a big fan of heights. So going up that because like it's literally like the gondola ride's literally like this. Whoop! Like you go like straight up. Oh, real quick thing about the castle, real quick. I got sidetracked. So before the castle, there's like this bridge that like you can take a picture on. That Sydney and I ended up taking a picture on here. I'll post it right now. Boop. There it is.
Wow.
Now in that picture, it looks like it's just Sydney and I on the bridge. Bro, on like on the bridge, I'm not joking you, there were like 80 to like 90 people on like this bridge that is like no wider than like 3 feet, maybe like 5 feet. Uh, and like maybe like, well, I'm saying like wide, maybe like 5 feet, maybe. And then like lengthwise, it's like maybe 40, 50 feet.
Like average.
And there's just like people packed on here. And so, like in my mind, I'm like, "All right, Robert, we're just gonna take this picture. Like, don't be like, like heights. Like, this is like scary. Like, just sack the fuck up, shut up, and like be happy and like take the fucking picture." So I'm like getting there. I'm hyping myself up. I'm like, "All right, we're gonna stay up here for a while. Like, I want Sydney to get her pics. Like, we'll never be here again. Who knows?" Bro, I take a step onto the bridge for the first time. Plane kind of sinks and goes, "Wah!" And I go, and just immediately go, "Get me the fuck off this thing!" like, like, I was like, "Be cool, be cool." First step on there, I'm not joking. You plank of wood, and I'm just like, nope, fuck this, fuck this." So like now I'm like on this fucking bridge with 90 other people going like, I swear to God. Thank God, two people from Japan. They like are taking a million pictures, and I'm like, okay, they've been taking a million pictures. They got to be done here soon, and they're like in a prime spot. So they finally start like, because like you can't just like, all right, we're done taking pictures, like and like move and like you got like, all right, we're done taking pictures. All right, sorry, oh sorry, yep, excuse me, yep. So I see them like about to like move and like doing that. So I go, oh, yep, okay, sorry, yep, excuse. So like I basically like shove Sydney and I like in the front, like to where like people are wanting to take pictures. Sorry, family over there that's really nice and has been patiently waiting. I'm about to die on this bridge. So like so I go, let's take these fucking pictures. Bop, 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 bop. Take the pictures off. We weren't on that thing for more than like 3 minutes. Because like Sydney was cool with it. And like she'll attest to you, like I'm not being dramatic. We took a step on a plane, and like we were like, get us off of this fucking thing. Uh, so that was crazy. So back to the heights, we take this gondola thing, and once again, we're packed in there like a bunch of sardines. And this is like a big hang gliding place. Like people love paragliding here. Like it's a big like, oh, like this is like some of the best paragliding in the world. So like the gondola takes us to the top. Man, I hate gondolas. Just because, like, one, if you're in a gondola, you're going high. Like, you're going high. So, like, strap in. And then, like, sometimes they kind of sway and shit. Like, I don't like that.
We ain't about that.
Yeah, I don't like that. And then, like, we're so high up, bro, and there's people, like, just fucking hiking, like, "We're on top of the world, like, fucking walking and hiking, like, what the fuck? Like, I'm literally looking at those people, like, I'm like, "You guys have a mental illness." Like, you genuinely, like, if you're walking on the side of a mountain like that going like, "Oh, these are beautiful," like, you have a mental illness. Like, I'm so like, that is a mental illness, and then don't even get me started on the mental illness that is paragliding or whatever the other one is, bro.
Sounds like Europe
These
has a
pe
mental health epidemic, you know?
Bro, these people, they're just like, we're on, like, a cliff. We're, like, on a fucking mountain, okay? And they're just like, "Oh, it's fucking Tuesday. Like, how's your Tuesday? Oh, it's great." And they're, like, just, like, kinda, like, throwing their, like, parachute thing. There's fucking, thank you, and, like, it was great, fucking salvafos." And he, like and then they're like, "All right, like, good fucking jump." And then they take the fucking thing and then they just like run. And then like the parachute kind of like is like, "Hey, I'm a parachute now. I'm gonna hold your weight," and kind of like flies up with them. And then they just like fucking jump off the fucking cliff. And then they just like fly. Is that not
You
the
you
stupidest fucking thing you've ever heard? Like people
you didn't
doing?
wanna do
Like,
that?
fuck no. No. And they could like they did tours, like they can do a thing where it's like you're strapped up to somebody, and then they kind of like they obviously like do the controls and stuff, and then you kind of like sit on them or something.
Pause.
And I saw somebody do the launch where
Pause.
it's basically like you're strapped to them in the front, and so like you kind of have to like run together and jump off. So like they're like, and then they go, right?
Right.
Man, you'd have to fucking drag. Like I would be like, my feet would be like dragging off. Like the dude would be like trying to push me off. Like no way in a million years would I ever do something like that. That is a true mental illness. Like the cool like part was like seeing the views. That was cool. Like I went, oh wow, like this is very like the views are nice. And then I was like, get me the fuck off this mountain though. Like this is insane. Like this is crazy. Like, would you guys paraglide? Like, if you were strapped up to somebody,
Yeah.
Nope.
I think it sounds like fun.
yeah,
I
I'm
enjoy it.
with you,
I don't think
Bullet.
Claire would though, because it'd be like, "Babe, it's just a faster way down the hill."
Yeah,
We don't
like
gotta
so
take the
like
gondola.
so like here's like kind of like I mean I'll post it like big. But like
Yeah.
yeah. See, and then this guy's like, oh well, fuck, guess it's my turn now. Let me just like put down like I'm like, what the hell? Like you're fucking crazy. Like you're crazy. Like that's insane. Like
Yeah, I know, I'm afraid of heights, but I think that's the
yeah, you gotta be sick in the head to like want to do something like that.
well, I am. Just add it to the many mental illnesses I have. Another one.
Uh, so like that was cool, like getting to see that, I guess. And there's like a lake that was like kind of in front of our hotel and stuff. So we took out a boat, um, like a little rafting boat, and just kind of went in the boat and the lake, which was like
Road.
cool. Yeah, because it was cool because like we were like in the lake and everybody was like taking pictures of the scenery, and I was thinking to myself like, I'm all in your fucking pictures. Like you guys don't know that, but like I'm in your picture. Um, so that was fucking cool. And then we took another tour of this other palace that Ludwig made. Dude just made
Classic Ludwig.
yeah, dude just loved making palaces.
No wonder they killed
Uh,
him, bro.
yeah, dude, he's 50 gold mark shillings. Like they like, "Hey, you got those 50 gold shillings we like million shillings we need?" And he's like, nah.
But I
I will
got
kill
these
you.
castles. No, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess I gotta kill you. Um, and then unfortunately, dude, that was pretty much like the last part of the trip. It was true, and I mean this, like, and feels, and I'm not just saying this because feels is in the chat hearing this, and like is a podcast listener and like a fan and stuff like that. I genuinely like feel like we left there like with like friends that live like in Germany now, and I'm very forever thankful for Feels for setting up the trip and showing us like a slice of his life. He also drove me around in his GT3 Porsche for all the car guys out there. I got to drive a GT3. I know, Christian, you're not a big like car guy, and Blue, I know you're a car guy.
I love cars.
Man, to feel the power of a GT3, it was literally like felt like the pinnacle of like engineering. Like it felt like even weird to call it like a car. That thing is like a machine, dude. It was like so cool to be able to take that car and just I don't know, man. Like it just I feel the power of that car, and Sydney got to ride in it, and she was like, "That was so much fun," and I was like, "So can we get one?" Like, and for those that don't know, Porsche GT3s are like
Yeah.
$250,000 basically a car. So it's a machine, man. That car was so fucking cool. The cars that people drive in Germany are really cool. I'm not a big car guy, okay? Unless it's like a Porsche or like a really nice, like cool like Mercedes or McLaren, that type of beat. And there were cars like that everywhere, and it was so cool. Um, and Sydney and I are so thankful for the trip that we were shown. It was fun, romantic, everything that a honeymoon should be, relaxing, but also like filled with like a lot of stuff we like learned about. Just everything we wanted to do, we were able to do. And a lot of that comes down to the hospitality that Fields and Katie showed us. So big shouts out to you guys. And yeah, can't wait to go back. Is what I'll say.
Oh, going back
Uh,
to the Germans again, yeah.
oh, for sure. Yeah, 100 million%. Now there was a little snafu that ran onto the plane ride home. Um,
Ah, Jesus.
as you guys know, on my last Copenhagen flight, uh, during nighttime or dark time, where they dimmed the cabin. Okay, the cabin is dimmed. Okay, cabin is dimmed. What did the Copenhagen lady do? Oh, boom! There's a fucking flashlight, and I'm beaming the whole cabin. Now, what did I do? I
Took a
just stared at her
stand.
until. Now I just stood and okay. We ran into another similar snafu on our flight from Munich back to Denver. Okay. Now I'm like seat 50. Okay. I'm in the back with the pigs and the trough. Okay. So, I'm with the people that are, the common man. All right. So uh it's like 4 hours into the flight, but at this point, like they turn off the cabin lights. They'd make you turn off the like this is like one of those new airlines where like the plane windows aren't like coverings. It's like a light setting. I don't know if you've been on those. But like, yeah, like the plain setting is like, you push the button and it'll like dim. Uh so all the lights at this point are dimmed automatically by like the flight people. Like they automatically do it because it's fucking nighttime. All right. So uh we're into it. And the guy sitting in front of Sydney. So this is window seat in front of Sydney. All of a sudden, fucking flashbang, bro. Dude turns like is the only one in the cabin who has like his window like not like blocked off essentially. So flashbanging the whole cabin. Okay. And I'm looking, I'm like, what the fuck is this idiot doing? Okay. Oh, okay. He's videoing outside the window. And I'm looking around the cabin. What's everyone doing? They're looking over to this guy. So I'm like, great. We're in distress. Like, I'm not the only one in distress and finding this annoying. Okay, cool. Like, all right. And then I'm like, all right, like maybe he just gets his fucking videos in and he like fucks off. Okay. No, this dude is taking like a 7 different like 3-minute videos. And then I look over the map. Okay, we're over like Greenland and like Iceland. So I like look over through like Sydney's like dimmed window and you can see like mountains and shit. So this dude's like, and this probably like goes on for like 10 minutes. Okay. And like, I look around, I want to make sure like I'm not the problem. I want to make sure that like I'm not the issue here and other people are annoyed too. I look around the cabin, people are like, but not saying that to me, but like the people next to them. So I'm like, I put on, and then like I look to my right, my damsel in distress, Sydney, is like this, watching her shit. Man, motherfucker. And I'm looking, and this fucking dickhead still like that in the window. I was like, all right, fuck this. So I actually get up. I get up. I have to reach across his section. I give him a good poke. Not like I went, bitch. Like, I gave him like not like excuse me, sir. I gave him a fucking, what the fuck?
He's
like, yeah. Well, and he kind of turns like, well, and this is my pettiness. I waited till he started a new video to go and do it. So it got on video, like me calling this fucker out. So I see like him recording. I'm a fucking push with my finger, dog. Like, man, what the like that's what like my finger push says. Man, what the fuck is your fucking problem, you dumb fuck?
They said a
Yeah,
lot.
it wasn't like a excuse me, sir. I went, so like he turns around like I'm the fucking weirdo. And I go, so like he is already hostile. So I go, all right, I'll be hostile back, cocksucker. And I go, hey man, you're like flashbanging the whole like economy like section. And he goes, bar for bar. I think he like had I can't remember if he had headphones in because he like yelled. He goes, I'm taking pictures of the glaciers. And I went, I don't give a flying fuck you're taking pictures of glaciers. Like, you're fucking, everybody's like wondering what you're doing. He goes, the glaciers. I don't fucking care. Close your window and like just close, like, so like something like close your window and like something. I think I'd shut up or something. I don't know. I was fucking seeing red. I was so annoyed. Like, as soon as I heard like the German accent too, I was kind of like double pissed because I was like expecting like a dumb American. So I was like, oh, I could expect this from a dumb American. But when it was like, oh, you should know better. Like, you should know better. So yeah, taking videos at I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, close your window and shut up. So then I sit down, petty me, I let out an asshole that like is just loud enough for him to hear it. And then it sucked too because Michael had told me some bad words or like eat my ass and something
You're
like that. Like just slang
insane
in
for
German.
this. You're insane
So,
for that. That's
bro,
insane.
he's lighting up the whole cat. And guess what? Okay, guess what? He uses his German engineering brain to guess what? Now when he's taking a video of what he wants to take a fucking video of, he put his blanket and covered the window and then did that. Wow, good job, German guy. Way to use your fucking brain for a second and not be a whole inconvenience to the whole plane. Thank you for that. But no, I'm the problem. I'm insane. I'm insane. Yeah, Michael, you hadn't heard this yet? I didn't tell anybody this story. Like, I've been sitting on this one for a good bit. But yeah, he's like, but like flashbanging the whole flight, man. The whole cabin is like lit up. Yeah, guys, I'm crazy. No, I'm helping out the common folk that's like, the betas on the flight that are like, I don't like this, and this is an inconvenience. Like, I guess this is just my life now. When it's like, no, it doesn't have to be. Grow up, say something to the guy, and guess what?
Some alpha anti-woke energy.
Yeah,
we need
go
more of that.
quit being a beta and go be a sigma and make your own lane. Like,
so
I'm
true,
sick
King.
of it.
Making my own path.
So I walk up to that German fuck. Hey, close your shit. Like, just close it. And what does he do? He used his fucking brain and went, everyone is looking at me kind of strange. The whole cabin is lit up because of me. Let me put my jacket and cover the plane so I can take videos of said glaciers. Like, shut the fuck up, man. Take your fucking video. That pissed me off. And then, so like another little power move by me, the petty king.
Yeah.
My dad actually revealed to me they almost named me Petty White when I was born. When we get off the plane, I'm a big why the fuck are you standing up? Like, we're row 55, okay? Like, why are you standing? All right, like, relax. We ain't going anywhere. So his row was in front of us. I made damn sure that I went, and I left the plane before him, and I gave him like kind of a like, bitch, like, you just sat there and took that shit, like, you're my fucking bitch, like, you fucking closed the window because I fucking said so. I got all these people like riling around me, like, go fuck yourself. Like, that was I gave him one of those, like, as I walked by, and like that's what like I was saying in that look, like, yeah, suck my fucking ass, like, you fucking lit up the whole fucking cabin, you dickhead, and I fucking called you out on it because you think you're fucking cool. Suck my balls. I saved the whole cabin from having,
and then
like,
everyone clapped, and
I swear to God, people would like, but the amount of people that go and then just decide to live like that, like, get up and say something. Why do I have to be the sigma? Like, you can be a sigma.
be the
like,
change you want to be.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like it was a fucking 6-year-old took in one picture and like I was like, hey, turn that fucking light off. Like, I gave this guy plenty of time and he just wasn't getting it. So, if that makes me crazy or the weird one.
No, I think it's again just the Rob way of handling it. You have good
Yeah.
intentions, but it's the execution.
The execution.
I think that.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, but it's not even like his execution. He knows he's being a dick, but he kind of revels in it, and that is exactly what makes it entertaining. But at the same time, it's like, damn.
What makes you petty? Yeah.
So wait,
we love
so
that.
are you saying like it stopped? So the execution started going badly as soon as I did the. What the fuck?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
like,
you do that,
started,
and then you're like, and then he turns around as if he's hostile. I wonder why.
See, and then you also start
like,
with,
excuse me, sir.
If I do, excuse
different
me,
energy. Different energy.
And then you also started
excuse me?
You also started looking around like, is this bothering anyone else? But like, you weren't doing it because it was like, is this bothering anyone else? You were doing it because, do I get to pop off? Do I get a reason to pop the fuck off? Oh, let's fucking go, baby. I don't want to have to pop off. Let's fucking go.
I don't want to have to be the one that has to.
I'm about to ruin this random ass dude's life. To be fair, yes, that guy is the asshole.
Just because I'm saving the plane.
Shut up. So to be fair, yes.
Sirens were going off. It was about to crash.
The pigs in the trough in my row were fucking fighting for their lives.
Yes, yes, the guy is an asshole. But at the same time, you always choose confrontation. And I love it. But at the same time, you're like, how do I keep getting myself into these situations? And it's like, the call is coming from inside the house.
No way, dude. Like, I literally sat there going like, man, every time I fly, like, there's always some fucking asshole that does this. And I'm thinking to myself,
did you also think, let me hail stewardess and talk to them about it?
No. Okay, dude. Because like, All right, I kind of had beef with the stewardess too. So
I'm
I'm on
sure
the
you did. I
aisle.
Here
know,
we
yeah.
go.
So I'm on the aisle. Okay? I'm on aisle. So like I'm kind of like, you know, and the guy in the middle between me, bro, I gotta give it to him. He knows the rules of the middle. He knows he gets both armrests because he's in the middle. So like,
Wait,
he
where was
got the
Sydney? Sydney was window?
she's window. So we had me aisle rando in the middle who was sick and had the sniffles, and then Sydney.
Did you guys ask to swap or anything?
No, I'm not sitting middle. I'm not sitting middle. Like,
I take one for the team. I don't wanna
why?
be middle, but in
She's right,
that
but
situation
she's right there.
yeah,
Like
but
what?
then so she doesn't have to sit next to him.
But like, there's no it's not wrong sitting there. I guess because like I have flown standby my whole life, and I have flown next to random people since I was like 8. Like, I don't mind sitting next to random people. Like, I don't feel like, oh, I need to sit next to my wife on this flight. Like, I know Sydney thinks that way, but like for me, it's like we're on the fucking plane. Like, like that's all we need. Like, because like just the standby mentality. So, um, he was like real good about like fighting for the middle row thing. Like, he wasn't a beta, he was a sigma, but he knew the rules of the sigma middle, which is like, hey, I own these two like
These are
rests. Like
mine.
you get the front kind of it. And I'm like, all right, word. So I kind of like leaned out a little bit. So like, I got like my shoulder and maybe a little elbow hanging out the side. I'm not like other people. Not like this drives me crazy when I see people sitting in the aisle when they stretch out into the row. Like they like that's crazy. Like that's insane. Like you're 5'7", relax, okay? Like you don't need to like do that, Margaret. Like relax. So I'm kind of like sitting like this, bro. I swear to God, every time a stewardess walked by, they were like fuck, like just fucking like make it like I'm not like egregiously hanging out like that, but like with the amount of times I got kind of like a boom motherfucker, like I was like, all right, like first time I was like, oh shit, like my bad. And then like second time it happened, I was like, okay, like I wasn't that far out. And then the third time I was literally about to be like, all right, like do it a fucking again. Like do it again. Like I really did. I was like, if part of me was like, if and then they didn't do it again. But like at some points they were like, man, fuck, like just fucking like elbowing like just had something like again, and it was more so like if they were like, hey sir, like do you mind not like leaning out in the raw? I'd be like, oh okay, yeah, like that's fine. No, I didn't get any of that. So like maybe that made me a little hostile towards. I was like, they're not gonna fucking get this job. They're not gonna do their job. Like, and then like, oh, another reason I didn't is because it's nighttime and the stewards don't like do anything during this time because it's like their time to relax too, basically. So I was like, I don't want to be like a bother to them, so I'll do their job for them.
Okay.
Uh,
Wanted to check. Good
so
enough.
yeah, that was the little snafu that I ran onto the plane.
Surprised you didn't have more snafus on the journey. I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah, dude, it was an amazing trip, filled again with the perfect amount of relaxation, sightseeing, uh,
Illness.
hanging out with friends. It was I've learned that garlic makes me very gassy though. Apparently there was one of the nights where we had like this like soup that had garlic in it, and a Sydney said apparently while I was asleep, I had the
You were
craziest amount of gas
suffocating.
that like but no, she said like it wasn't stinky. They were like just loud and long and like those kind of farts where it's like, oh shit, there's like motion in the ocean. Like
There's something
and
going on.
yeah, well, she said it got to the point where like I was farting like on her because like we were like, spooning and stuff. And like at one point
God.
she was like, man, what the fuck? Like, like what are you doing? Like actually at one point got really mad and I don't remember any of it. So we'll have to get her on the podcast to get that story. But it was
That's
awesome.
love. That's what that is.
Yeah.
That's
And
amore.
that's marriage.
Marriage.
So yeah, honeymoon was awesome. Big shouts out to Fields for once again hosting us and showing us a slice of his life.
Being a slice
Well,
of life. Again, I think I sent out this invitation. Any rich daddies out there that have like a yacht, you
oh
just want
yeah.
to take me out. Don't murder me, please. But like, just like crazy, like just take me on one crazy rich trip. Like just a trip that it'd be like,
Crazy Rich
you
Asian
live
trip?
like this. Yeah, I'd be like, just so I'd have that experience, you know? Just Bezos me like once. That's all I'm asking for, you know?
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
against that either,
Don't murder me.
guys. Just hit me
Yeah.
up, you know?
Yeah. So
To
just
I
it's
get
just
mean,
like
me and my
a
partner
call.
love taking trips, so I'm just,
you
I'm
say
just
that.
saying.
All I'm saying is talk to Fields. Uh,
Does he have
anything?
a nice yacht?
Nice cars. A lot of nice cars.
About but see like maybe just like a private charter jet, something, you know, something light. Like we're just going to the Galapagos for
No yacht, but he has
something.
Italy. There you go.
Well, you know what else we have?
Italy.
The end of this
Mumbo.
podcast.
Oh
Because
shit!
boys,
Did I really yak?
we
Did I
have
waffle?
Rob waffled and we thank him for it.
Oh
This
my
It was
was
the
god!
right
I
this
it was
waffled.
it's
this
the
was
right
the
amount of
second part.
waffling though.
The second part of the Rob wedding adventure, which I have to say lived up to the hype because I
Did it?
knew you were going to shit talk.
Oh wait, real quick. Can I tell this Burger King story?
Hit me the fuck up. Let's go.
Okay, so this is another like they obviously thought I was a dumb crazy American. Okay, so after Dak House, Cindy and I go to Burger King. Like we're hungry, like we're starving. Okay, all they have is Burger King. And once again, I get a large, and we had this discussion at Copenhagen. I get a small fry and a small drink. Like that's not a large. This is a large. Okay, like this is a large. Okay, and like I just scarfed down my soda. Like before I even because I'm thirsty. Like first of all, we asked for it to be served in ice. No, it doesn't come with ice. Like, why did you give us the option to ask for ice if you didn't give us ice? Anyway, so I like scarfed down my soda. And in Europe, or at least this Burger King, there's no like the soda is behind the counter, right? Like they're gatekeeping the soda. Like you don't just walk up and go like, "This is mine." Like I am filling this up.
Why do you think we broke away from Europe, bro?
That's what I mean. Though, like our forefathers were onto something. Uh, so like I walk up and I go like, "Hey, can I get a refill?" Uh,
Us?
yeah, a what? And I go, can I get a refill? Like the soda machine is like behind there. I can't refill this. And he goes, "Oh, so you want to pay for a refill?" And I went, "Wait," and then I went, "I gotta pay for a refill?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, like you." And I go, "Oh," all right, like, and I was like desperate. I just wanted another fucking soda. I was like, "All right, like I'll like pay for this. I'll pay for a refill." And he goes, "It's like $3." I went, $3 for a refill? And he goes, "Yeah, you gotta like buy the whole drink again." And I went, "Are you fucking serious?" And then he just like sat there and I was like, "Never mind." And I just went back and choked down my rest of my fucking food. And I was just when I asked for a refill, this guy was like this dumb fucking American, like asking for a fucking refill. When in reality, you made such a big markup on that fucking soda originally. Just let me like cut into that a little bit. Like, just let me get more soda. Like, and like, you're not the fucking Burger King. Why are you telling me that like it's like $3 to get a refill, trying to save me money? Just let me pay the $3. Like, I don't like just give me fucking soda. Just give me a refill with ice. All right, that was it though. I asked for a fucking refill, and you would have thought I was explaining quantum physics to this fucking guy.
Christ. Oh, Rob, we are so glad you're back. And we are so glad that it's funny because you were like, no, no, no. I didn't go hard on Europe. And then you come back and you did exactly what we expect you to do. So Rob, thank you for being consistent. We appreciate
Hey, Europe,
you.
I'll be back in 3 weeks, so
And
we'll be back.
Europe, I hope you have plans to be ready for this man. Godspeed,
I'll be with
Europe.
my dog. I'll be with my
That's right.
dog. He'll be seeing it firsthand.
I will say I'm very excited to have you back.
Nah, I'll be. I'm gonna be like, Rob. No, don't
Yep.
stop.
No, you know what? We're gonna be on the same flight, and it's gonna be quiet time, and there's gonna be a window that's open. I'm like, who the fuck? It's gonna be you. It's gonna
Yeah.
be you with
I'll
the
look
window
back,
open.
just like
Well,
anyway.
lads, what a podcast. Rob, diabolical. Wow.
I do it for you guys.
We look forward to more stories from your next Europe trip, which you will undoubtedly have. And I'm also really excited to see you play 14. So, hoggers.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Well, everybody,
See you.
see you.